and welcome to your Bangla City SATV News. This is Nahin Tahir with our headlines. BNP observed mass hunger strike across the country to seek overseas medical treatment for Khalida Zia. Myanmar Navy detains 22 Bangladeshi fishermen with 4 trawlers off St. Martin's coast. BGB and Coast Guard have been notified, said Teknaf UNO. West Bengal civil society backs Bangladesh concern over border killing, said Foreign Minister. The BNP has observed a mass hunger strike in the face of police obstruction across the country today. They went on a mass hunger strike from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The BNP staged the program demanding to take the party's chairperson, Khalida Zia, abroad for treatment. Meanwhile, police have arrested 12 leaders and activists after a beaten charge in Barguna. Myanmar Navy personnel have reportedly detained 22 fishermen and 4 trawlers from off the coast of St. Martin's Island inside the Bangladesh maritime boundary. The Bangladeshi men were picked up by the neighboring country's naval forces at around 9:30 a.m. today, said the island's union chairman Nur Ahmed. But the circumstances that led to their detention were still unclear. Teknaf UNO said BGB and Coast Guards have been notified the situation and urged them to take immediate action. Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen today said that civil society of neighboring Indian state West Bengal has recently demanded to stop border killing along the Bangladesh-India frontier. He said at Tongipar, general people, intellectuals, journalists and artists of West Bengal recently raised a demand to stop any killing at the border. Foreign Minister hoped that people and state government of West Bengal as well as Indian central government would work together to ensure zero killing at the border. During Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Bangladesh in March this year, the two sides agreed that any death along the border is a matter of concern, according to the joint statement. Ghazipur City Corporation Mayor Jahangir Alam, who was recently expelled from the Awami League, said he was trying to meet the leader apply for review. Jahangir complained that the leader had been misunderstood. Wrong messages were given. Mistakes in crimes are not the same. Jahangir Alam Shorkar said in a response given to the media after his expulsion from Awami League. There can be mistake in people's lives, he said. Mayor Jahangir claimed that some words were cut and presented. Students of 2 colleges vandalized several buses in Dhaka Science Lab and Farmgate areas demanding half-past fare. The students of Dhaka City College brought out a procession from and blocked the road in front of their college on Science Lab Road around 12:15 p.m. OC said around 1:15 p.m. traffic movement on the road was suspended for several minutes, but the situation is now normal. Protesters were also seen putting stickers on a number of buses that read, "Students will pay half fare on bus transport." However, Tejga police said they were unaware of any vandalism. Air pollution continues to be one of the topmost challenges for Bangladesh. Its capital has been ranked the 3rd most polluted city in the world. The capital's air quality index was recorded at 182 around 11 a.m. The air was classified as unhealthy. Pakistan's Lahore and India's Delhi occupied the 1st and 2nd spot in the list with AQI scores of 407 and 311 respectively. Viewers, we are taking a short break. Stay with your Bangla City SATV News. Welcome back and you're watching your Bangla City SATV News. The U.S. House of Representatives passed a social and climate spending bill worth trillions of dollars, which is a key element of Biden's agenda. The Democratic majority in the House approved the $1.75 trillion Build Back Better Act on Friday amid opposition from Republicans. Lawmakers approved the bill 220 to 213. The measure now heads to the Senate, where Democrats and Republicans are evenly split and changes and disputes are likely. The bill features massive investment in healthcare, education, housing, the environment and other policies. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris became the first woman to briefly be given presidential powers while Joe Biden underwent a regular health check. Harris, 57, was in control for 85 minutes while Biden was placed under anesthesia for a routine colonoscopy yesterday. Biden's doctor released a statement after the operation saying he was healthy and able to execute his duties. Officials said Harris carried out her duties from her office in the West Wing of the White House. She is the first woman and the first Black and South Asian American to be elected U.S. Vice President. The U.S.-China have reportedly agreed to high-level conversation between their militaries in a move to ease escalating tensions. Sources said that during a virtual summit this week, U.S. President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping agreed to support discussion between the U.S. military and top officials from the Chinese army. The White House is reportedly defining a strategy on how to approach those engagements, including in the areas of cybersecurity, space, and nuclear weapons. Sources said the agreement is a further sign of thawing ties between Washington and Beijing. The federal government of Pakistan finalized negotiations on a bilateral readmission agreement with the UK, under which former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif could also be repatriated for staying illegally in Britain. Earlier in August, Sharif had filed an appeal with the British Immigration Tribunal after the country's Home Department refused to extend his stay in the UK on medical grounds any further. To reach a new agreement after Brexit, the Permanent Secretary of the UK's Home Office, Matthew Rycroft, paid a two-day visit to Pakistan that has capped off on Thursday with finalization of an agreement to tackle illegal immigration. Rycroft, an advisor to the Prime Minister on Interior and Accountability, Shahzad Akbar, finalized the negotiation on UK-Pakistan readmission agreement, which would ensure the return of illegal migrants who have no lawful basis to remain in the country. Dutch police have shot and wounded at least 7 people after rioting erupted in Rotterdam over new COVID-19 measures. Protesters threw rocks and fireworks at them and set police car ablaze. A huge protest march was held in Rotterdam, the Netherlands, yesterday against the corona ban. When the police stopped it, it turned violent. At least 7 people were injured in the beating and 20 arrested. Protesters set fire to police vehicles and attacked several installations. At this time, the city became a battlefield. At one stage, the police had to fire blank shots to bring the situation under control. Thousands of protesters converged on Isfahan in central Iran to voice their anger after the city's lifeblood river dried up due to drought and diversion. The massive protests that drew in farmers and other people from across Isfahan province was the biggest since demonstrations over the water crisis started. The city of Isfahan is Iran's third largest, with a population of around 2 million. It is a tourist magnet due to its heritage site, including a historic bridge that crosses the Zayandi River, which has been dried since the year 2000 apart from brief period. Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi had already met with representatives from the provinces of Isfahan, Yazd and Samnan on November 11 and promised to resolve water issues. Iran is one of the most water-stressed countries in the world. Water level in the country's lakes and reservoirs have halved since last year due to severe drought affecting the country and the wider region, reports Iran Space Agency. The UN and the United States yesterday demanded proof of Peng Shuai's whereabouts amid rising concern for the Chinese tennis star's well-being. Player has not been seen in public since alleging on November 2nd that she was sexually assaulted by China's former vice premier. United Nations has insisted on a fully transparent investigation into Peng's claim. Liz Trussell, a spokeswoman for the UN Human Rights Office, told reporters in Geneva it would be important to have proof of her whereabouts and well-being. We are calling for an investigation with full transparency into her allegation of sexual assault. China has remained largely silent over the tennis stars, and yesterday Foreign Ministry struck to its line that it was not aware of the controversy surrounding the player. Pakistan have sealed the three-match T20 series against Bangladesh with an 8-wicket win in the second T20Y at the Bangla National Stadium in Mirpur today. Scores: Bangladesh 108 for 7, Pakistan 109 for 2. Fahar Zahan carried his good run of form and stitched a 85-run partnership with opener Mohammad Rizwan as the visitor comfortably sailed to victory with 11 balls to spare. In the first inning, Bangladesh reached their half-decent total of 108 by mainly riding on Najmul Hussain Shantos' 34 balls for 40. Shaheen Shah Afridi, who did not feature in the last match, and Shabdad Khan were the pick of the bowlers from the visitor. The third and the final game of T20I series beginning on the November 22nd at the same venue from 2 p.m. Before ending, we go through your Bangla City SATV News headlines again. BNP observed mass hunger strike across the country to seek overseas medical treatment for Khaleda Zia. Myanmar Navy detains 22 Bangladeshi fishermen with 4 trawlers off St. Martin's coast. BGB and Coast Guard have been notified, said Teknaf UNO. West Bengal civil society backed Bangladesh over border killing, said Foreign Minister. You're up to date with your Bangla City SATV News, and to know the latest in SATV News, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with us.